everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for Discover Shanghai, our student info session for all of our Shanghai programs. We're glad to have you with us. To go over what we're going to talk about in this call, we're going to meet our amazing team, many of whom are on the call with us. We'll talk about our locations in Shanghai. We'll talk through academics, program tracks, what to expect with classes, internships, and our summer programs as well. We'll talk through the student experience, so let you know what to expect for housing, cultural activities, and all the incredible excursions you'll get to go on. We'll talk through health safety and a little bit about COVID-19 and what to expect there, as well as the application process, student support that you will receive, as well as scholarships. And then we will have time at the end for a Q&A, so feel free to drop your questions in the chat as we go along, or use the Q&A function as well, or you can save them until the end and ask us then. So let's go ahead and meet our amazing China team. With us on the call, we have Christy Hoover, our amazing Regional Director of Asia Pacific Region at IFSA. You'll hear from her in a bit. We also have Tamara Bycroft, our amazing Regional Health, Safety, and Wellbeing Manager, also for Asia Pacific Region. For those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Brittany Brooks. I am the Enrollment Counselor for our China programs, and I will be the one supporting you throughout the application process and pre-arrival stage. Also on the call with us, we have our fantastic Director of China Programs, Tina Zhen. And also want to introduce to you our amazing student experience coordinators. They're not with us on the call, but they're excited to welcome you to Shanghai in future semesters. So we have Stella Shin and Michael Wong, and they are going to be your go-to support while you're on site, help you get connected in Shanghai, get all the information to you every week about what's going on in Shanghai and opportunities on campus. So they're going to be great support for you once you're on site in China. So that is our incredible team. And now I'm going to turn it over to Christy to talk with us about our program locations.
Wonderful. Thanks, Brittany. Thanks, everyone, for joining today. Shanghai is just an incredible location for international students. China's largest city is also one of the most trendiest. It's clean, impressive, and modern, with a mix of history and culture. IFSA-Shanghai is located in the northeastern part of Shanghai in the Yangping district. It's known as the Education District. So it's about half an hour on the metro to downtown Shanghai. And there's multiple universities in this district, which include Sufi University of Finance and Economics, who's our partner, Fudan University, and others. And having so many universities in the surrounding area gives plenty of opportunity for IFSA students to engage with local university students. This includes on University Avenue, which has like great food places, there's bars, cafes, just a variety of cuisines, but it also has a variety of high-tech and creative companies, even TikTok's located there. So it's a really dynamic district, and it's perfect for university students. Shanghai is incredibly safe, and it has a great, efficient, and affordable public transport system. So the city has 20 metro lines, and for 10 stops, you're going to pay less than $1. So there's 3 train stations and 2 international airports in Shanghai, so you can travel in and out really conveniently. And there's many ancient places that you can visit that are even within an easy reach by the bullet train. Next slide, please, Brittany. So our IFSA Center, it's located in the Business Incubator Park and Education District. So in this park, there's plenty of startup businesses, and it's a really innovative environment to be in. So it's within walking distance to the Sufi campus. So that was Shanghai University of Finance and Economics, their campus where we have some of our classes, and the international dorms. So our center itself has 5 classrooms, and one of these includes a hub that has a Mondo pad that can be used for classes and interaction with sites around the world. Students will see and interact with our staff on nearly a daily basis. So besides coming in for classes, students can study here or meet with staff who offer a really high level of pastoral care. There's 3 metro lines in the area where the center is located, so it gives a lot of convenience for students to sort of explore the city in their free time. Next slide, please, Brittany. So the Shanghai University of Finance and Economics is considered one of the best finance and economic universities in China. It was ranked number 7 in China and 100 worldwide in the 2023 US News Best Global University rankings. So it works closely with many international professional organizations and is a member of the AACSB, which is the Association to Advance Collegiate Studies of Business. Sufi has been our education partner in China since 2007 when we opened in Shanghai, and with 2 campuses, it has exceptional facilities for our students to use. So our students will actually frequent the main campus. It's really safe, easy to navigate around, and as we mentioned, within walking distance of the IFSA Center and our IFSA and the dorms where the students will be staying. I'll now hand over to Brittany, and she can share more about our academic tracks.
Thank you, Christy. Yeah, so let's talk academics and what you can expect for each program track and the classes that you have available. So we'll start with our 4 tracks for spring and fall semesters. So typically students do take a 15 to 16 US credit hour load. That is standard for our Shanghai programs. And our first track is international business. And so we do have a prerequisite for this one, just to be aware of. You have to have taken at least 1 business and 1 economics class in your college career so far, or by the time of the program start date. If your campus doesn't have business courses or a business department, that's okay. You can do 2 economics classes instead. So be aware of that. Our GPA requirement for this track is a 2.0. And as you can see, we have a core class. So all students will take China, the economic giant, a great class that kind of talks about China's economic development, especially through the 1980s and the start of that change. Then we have some great elective classes for you as well. And you'll see the varying topics: China as a global market. There's some international trade focus courses, money and finance, operations and supply chain management. So some great options for you to study international business through the lens of a different country and a different culture. Another thing to note, you can take an elective from a different track, from our social sciences track, which I'll talk about shortly, as well as you can do our internship course, which I'll also talk about, and you can take a language course as well. So a lot of options here. Our next track is our social sciences track. And as you can see, there are no prerequisites for this one. And GPA, again, 2.0 requirement. And we do have a core class as well. So all students will take Chinese society in the 21st century. And then we have a nice selection of elective classes for you as well. All of our electives are 3 US credit hours. And you can see the different topics: politics, public health, survey of art, traditional Chinese medicine. And then you can choose again to take a class from the business track, the internship class as well, and a language course as a part of this program track. We have intensive language. That is our 3rd track. And this is a great track for students who are highly motivated to increase their Chinese language skills and to be totally immersed in that. We do have a prerequisite for this. So students must have taken 2 semesters of Chinese language at their school, at their home school, before the start of the program. The GPA, again, is 2.0. And then this program gives you 20 hours of language instruction per week, and that does total 15 US credit hours. So it is, as its name suggests, very intensive when it comes to language, which is really great for a highly motivated language students. You can take 1 elective class on this track. We recommend that you don't, because you keep it at that 15 credit load. You're going to be pretty busy with that, but it is possible. So if you're interested, you can have a chat with me about it going forward. But that is our intensive language track. And then we have our standard program. So this is kind of a mix and match. If you don't want to be on any of those tracks, you can take a mix of classes from all of the tracks. You won't have to take any of the core classes. And then you can also do the internship and the Chinese language class this track as well. And again, no prerequisites. GPA is a 2.0 there. So let's talk a little bit about our Chinese language courses. As I said, you can take 15 hours on the intensive language class, or you can choose to take one of these courses on the international business, social sciences, or standard program. We have one class called Essential Chinese. This is recommended if you have never taken a Chinese language class before. It's a great foundation, gives you a basic info in the language, helps you feel more confident to interact in your environment. So we definitely recommend this if you've never taken Chinese. It is only 1 US credit hour. And then we have our 6 semester credit hour classes. And as you can see, we have different levels. So we go from beginning all the way to advanced readings in Chinese. We don't have a prerequisite for this, so you don't have to take you don't have to have taken Chinese before to sign up for one of our 6 credit hours classes. We will do placement tests. So the first part of that will be done over Zoom before the program, and then the second half will be completed once you're on site, and that will help determine what language level you'll be on for the language course. And then we also have a final class called Business Chinese. There is a prereq there. You have to have taken 3 semesters of Chinese language at your home school, and it is a 3 US credit hour class. So again, lots of opportunities for students to take Chinese language and to increase their skills in that area. And let's talk about our internships. So we also have an international internship seminar course. So it is for credit, not for pay. So students are interested, it'll be 3 US credit hours. You will have a 15-hour online class to complete, and then you'll do internship will be around 120 hours for the semester. Internships can be in English and Chinese. And of course, that will depend on your language level, where you're at with Chinese. You can get real world experience and for this opportunity, develop intercultural agility. It's an amazing opportunity to experience the workplace in a different country. And it's an awesome resume booster as well. We do have some required application items for that. So you'll be asked to submit your resume as well as an internship interest form. So we work to place you somewhere that fits your goals and your experience and what you're hoping to get out of your internship. Some examples, we've had students work at international nonprofits, big corporations, think tanks in Shanghai. Many of them promote public health or environmental health. So some really cool opportunities there. We also will work with you to talk about what to expect on your internship in China, talk through cultural differences, expectations you can have for that, and what that commitment looks like. Because it is a big commitment. It's an amazing opportunity, but we will want our students to be serious about it. So you can chat with me about what that looks like. We send out an internship guide that has all the details. So we'll make sure that you're prepared and understand what an internship looks like before you start. So let's talk briefly about summer programs in case any students on the call or watching this later are thinking of our summer programs. So we do have 2 summer sessions typically, and you can take one or both. So they're both around, they're 4 week sessions. And so you'll take one class per session. Our session 1 class is City and Environment. Session 2 is China, the Economic Giant. And then we also do offer our language classes in each session. And then you can also take an internship in the summer. So it is an 8 week program for that. You'll take the 3 credit internship seminar, and then you can take one additional summer session class with the internship as well. And again, some of those same placements that you'll see in fall and spring can be possible in the summer program as well. All right, so that's it about academics. If you have questions about any of the classes, you'll find all of the syllabi on our program pages, on our IFSA Shanghai program pages. You can click on the class, go to the syllabus, see what you can expect, what the classwork is like, and then of course you can always reach out to me to ask for more details or to chat about anything in detail. So now I'm going to turn it over to Tina, who is going to talk us through the student experience.
Thank you so much, Brittany. I would now look to share more about the things that contribute to student experience, our housing, activities, and ISSA support. Before I get into these topics, I want to share that we offer optional one-on-one advising appointment with students on a weekly basis. Each individual appointment is scheduled as a 30-minute session, and the meeting can be used for different purposes, such as learning plan check-in, well-being support, or individual coaching. Next slide, please. Thank you. Here are the photos of International Student Dorm and its surrounding neighborhood of Shanghai University of Finance and Economics. Students live in apartments that also house international students from around the world, and the arrangement offers an ideal environment for get to know fellow Chinese and international students and engage in informal language and cultural exchange. The Sufi International Student Dorm building is within 15-minute walking distance from IFSA Program Center and the university's main campus. Students live in 4-bedroom apartments, and each student have their own private bedroom. Each apartment has a full kitchen, a living room, and 2 shared bathrooms. All rooms are equipped with air conditioning, internet, closed closet, and desk. There's a public laundry room and with washers and dryer, student lounge, and study room in a nearby building. There's a security guard at the entrance to the residential compound 24/7, and a property management office that are open during Monday to Friday business hours, handling repairs and facility maintenance. A variety of inexpensive food stores, restaurants, and cafeterias are available near the residential compound, IFSA Center, and on university's campus. And next slide, please. Thank you. We operate both co-curricular and regular extracurricular activities that occur throughout the term and on a weekly basis. These events are an integral and important component of our program and are designed to maximize the impact of student experience in Shanghai. Some examples of co- and extracurricular activities include integrative learning project, calligraphy and martial arts workshop, scavenger hunt, museum visits, river cruise, academic workshops, and field trips that expose students to China's geographic and cultural diversity. These photos are examples of community-based learning activities in our program, including but not limited to festival celebrations with local families, craftsman workshops, sports activities with local students. Through these activities, we strive to create a learning space to support students to engage with their local environment. A balance of voices from our host communities provides invaluable reflective intercultural opportunities. By leveraging our existing local networks and relationships with local Chinese universities, we have facilitated unique opportunities to engage with local communities within and outside of Shanghai. Next slide. Thank you. Using the city as a context and lab, a lot of learnings in Shanghai program take place outside the classroom and within the city. For instance, we took students on a bond historical walk to examine the historical relationship of the British presence in Shanghai's bond from the mid-19th century by tracing the roads around the bond and discover the ways in which area became developed and continue to be developed. Besides, students are encouraged to explore themselves or with their Chinese university friends in their free time. All these activities operationalize IFSA commitments while capturing the latest development and events in the city. With its rich cultural, architectural, and historical heritage, Shanghai makes a great place for students with interdisciplinary interests who are looking forward to engage with new and diverse perspectives and developing their intercultural agility skills. Next slide, please. I think our picture is still loading. So now I'm going to show you some pictures from our overnight excursion activities. So these photos are taken while students traveled outside of Shanghai. Each semester, we will arrange an overnight excursion to give students the exposure to the life and culture beyond the cosmopolitan of Shanghai and help them to develop more comprehensive and sophisticated understanding of the dynamics and complexity of Chinese society. We plan excursion to cities and places nearby Shanghai to enjoy the natural beauty, history, and art of canal and ancient towns in the region. Last semester, we went to the historical water town called Wuzhen and visited museums, waterway systems, craftsman markets, and also learned about the dining custom, seasonal produce, and special cuisines, and engage with locals living in these communities. All right, now I will pass the mic to Tamara to share more about health and safety support.
Thanks so much, Tina. Hello, everyone. My name is Tamara, and I'm the Health, Safety and Wellbeing Manager for Asia Pacific. So, along with Brittany, who supports our students pre-arrival, and Stella, Tina, and Michael, who are supporting students on-site, I'm also here to support specifically your health, safety, and wellbeing needs, both ahead of your arrival in Shanghai and also once you are on-site. So when considering study abroad, it's important to also consider health, safety, and well-being. Currently, the situation in Shanghai, masks are encouraged but not required. It's really a matter of personal preference at this stage. I was lucky enough to be in Shanghai earlier in the year, had a wonderful time, didn't want to leave, but I didn't actually notice much mask wearing aside from on public transport. There are also no longer any compulsory quarantines or any COVID-related restrictions, but our Shanghai students do all have a single room. So if they choose to quarantine, if they become unwell and choose to quarantine, that's something that can be easily accommodated. Of course, we hope that our students never get ill or have any injuries during their time abroad, but in the event that that does happen, there are medical appointments available for our students in English. And our insurance provider, CISI, has a direct billing relationship with a couple of international hospitals in Shanghai, which makes seeking medical care very easy on site. And we've actually had great feedback around the quality of medical care available in Shanghai. Next slide, please, Brittany. Okay, so moving on to look at the resources you have available to you on our Shanghai program. The greatest of these by far is our wonderful on-site staff. As you've already been introduced, we have Tina, Stella, and Michael on the ground, who you will see most days as part of the program. They are all Shanghai locals, and they're fantastic resources, very experienced in student support. And they are the go-to for your time in Shanghai. In addition, IFSA has a crisis line that our students and parents can call 24/7 if support is needed. So this crisis line can connect you to different resources, including emergency services. They can connect you to insurance, or they can connect you to IFSA staff, depending on what the need is. And as I mentioned in the previous slide, you also have CISI insurance included in the program. This is comprehensive medical insurance. And if anyone would like any more details, I can actually put in a link to the policy in the chat. We also use alert media for crisis management. It's a threat intelligence service as well, but we use it as a communication platform. So this actually enables us to send and receive emergency notifications really quickly. And finally, for any of you who are interested in discussing your own health and wellbeing needs in relation to studying abroad in Shanghai, I'd encourage you to set up a call with me, or you can email Health, Safety and Wellbeing. The email address is up there at any stage, now, pre-arrival, or if you end up being lucky enough to go on this program when you're on site. Please do use all the resources available to you. That's it from me, but please do reach out if you have any questions. I believe I'm handing back over to you, Brittany. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Tam. So let's talk briefly about the application process. So you know what to expect. If you haven't applied yet, you can apply. There's an Apply Now button on the IFSA program website for each program track. There's only a few application items you have to do. And the great thing about it is you don't have to provide an official transcript. It can be unofficial, which is easier for students to get, as well as a copy of your passport. You do have to sign a few agreements, and then any other items as needed. If you're doing the internship class, you'll have that resume on there. Oops, let me go back a slide. Oh, it went very far. There we go. And any other items as needed. And then you'll have what we call program approval. So we do require program approval from your home institution. They just have to go into the advisor portal and approve that you've done everything on their end and that they've approved you to go on the IFSA program, the Shanghai IFSA program that you've chosen. If you have any questions about that, you can definitely reach out to me and I can help reach out to your homeschool if needed. To make sure that program approval is done. And then you'll have an acceptance issued as long as you meet that GPA requirement. And then we usually give you about a 10-day period to commit to the program, give you some time to work out any logistics and things like that. And then once you commit to the program and accept your place, you will enter into our pre-arrival stage where you'll have a lot of support and guidance from me going forward. If you have any questions about the application or any of the items in your portal, please don't hesitate to reach out to me for support there. IFSA student support, speaking of support, let's recap. So in that pre-arrival stage, you will receive many newsletters from me directly. They'll have guidance on visas, so what to do for those. It's a complex process getting a student visa for China, but we do help you along the way and give you step by step on what to do. We give you the documents that you need in partnership with Sufi, our partner school. So we'll make sure that you have what you need there. We also send a newsletter with flight information, VPN, so what to expect with that, and travel essentials and a packing list. And then I'll send out a last week before your program. I send out a travel day reminders and things you should be aware of and bring with you. And then we also will do a pre-arrival webinar for you as well, where a lot of us will be back on a call with you, preparing you for your time in Shanghai, making sure you feel confident getting started and have everything you need. And then, of course, as you have heard, you will have extensive on-site staff support from our amazing team. You'll have an orientation once you arrive in Shanghai to help prepare you. You'll have your student experience coordinators. You'll do check-ins with the staff periodically, making sure everything is going well and any goals that you set, that you're able to work towards them, and if you need any support. And then they also send out an amazing newsletter with all the opportunities around Shanghai, on Sufi's campus, what's coming up IFSA excursion wise, and everything else. So a lot of amazing on-site staff support as well once you get there. So let's talk about scholarships. So an important part of a study abroad experience, students are always looking for funding and support. So you have some great ones at IFSA. We do have a special promo if you are heading to Shanghai in spring of 2025. We're doing a bring a friend. So invite a friend to do the program as well. And you'll each receive $750 cultural grant to help towards those daily living costs or anything else you need while you're on site. So once you arrive in China, you'll have that fund dispersed to you. So bring a friend if you're heading in spring 2025. We also have some general IFSA scholarships that are offered every cycle, so spring, fall, and even in the summer. We do have a general scholarship. The amount there can vary, but it is a needs-based scholarship. So you'll fill out an application in your IFSA student portal for that one. And the priority deadline is October 1st for spring, March 1st for summer. And then final deadline is November 1st for spring, April 1st for summer. If you are applying for fall, you can find those deadlines on our IFSA scholarship website as well. We also have a first generation college scholarship. So if you're a first gen student, make sure you look into that one. It is a separate application that you'll do. The instructions are also on IFSA scholarship website. Maybe we can drop the link in there. It might be helpful in the chat. But make sure you check that one out. And then we have some other financial support as well that you'll see there. If you go to a state school, you automatically get a state school grant. You could use your financial aid as well. So you definitely want to chat with your homeschool's financial aid office about what you're currently getting, any scholarships that you're getting at your homeschool, whether those can be applied to your study abroad semester, because a lot of times they can be. So definitely check in there. And we also have a few other tools. We have an upfront advance. Thank you, Christy, for dropping that link. We have an upfront advance, so if you need help covering some of those upfront costs, like the program deposit or the flight, you can apply for an advance from IFSA. We also set up payment plans for you if you need those. And then we have an awesome opportunity called our student marketing correspondent role. This would happen, our marketing team will send out applications, a call for applications for this later on in the cycle once you've accepted your program. And you would just be doing a few things for IFSA as a part of this role, like maybe social media stuff, documenting some stories and your experience. And it is a stipend to have when you're on site as well. So some great scholarships. And then again, you should have a scholarship application in your student portal if you've opened your application. If it's not there, you can reach out to me and let me know, and I'll help make sure it gets there for you to fill out. And then first gen, we also have a diversity scholarship, which I don't think I mentioned on that slide, but it is on the website. It's in partnership with the FEA, and it is for typically underrepresented student communities. So definitely check into that one because it's a great scholarship too. There's a lot of other external scholarships as well that IFSA links to there. So I'd highly recommend diving into that page, looking into what's available. And you can always chat with me if you have questions about any of it. So let's reiterate our key program dates. Just as a reminder, if you're coming for spring 2025, you'll want to make sure you have that application completed by October 15th. So we still have a little over a month. The program dates are February 18th to June 14th. So make sure you're aware of those. For summer, you've got until March 15th, and then you'll see the session dates there, about 4 weeks, May to June, June to July. Then the internship is the entire 8 weeks in the summer. And then fall 2025, if you happen to watch this and you're looking for fall 2025, just be aware your application deadline is April 15th, and you can expect your program to run around late August to mid-December. All right, so I think that is it for us. Do you have any questions for us? Feel free to pop them in the chat. And if not, wonderful. Oh, I think we might have a question coming. So wait a second. And again, if anyone has any questions, we are all happy to support you throughout all stages, whether you're submitting your application, you're in the pre-arrival stage, or you're on site. We are here for you to support you and make sure you have what you need to have an amazing study abroad experience. Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. I don't think we have any questions. So thank you again for joining us. We hope to be welcoming you to Shanghai in future semesters. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything. Thanks again for coming. Bye.